Greetings everyone, I am Lonnie Bray-L. I'm trying to catch you all up on what I've been doing. It's hard for me to keep up with myself, even to take time to tell people what's going on. I'm trying to get across the street so I can get into the university here because I have returned to school. Why did I return to school? Because there's things I need to know and people who need me to know those things solidly, effectively, and I'm gonna do that. I love this place and I'm happy to be here again. They've built so much stuff here, put so much money in here, and I'm now going in Cleveland State University Law School because I'm in law school. I don't really know where to begin, so I'll just start talking. I got into law school to deal with contracts in my personal and business life. I chose contract law. It's a class, contracts. And within 2 days, I realized that I was on to something hot with the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code. In case you don't know, there's a lot of noise about should Moors use the UCC? Is the UCC attached to sovereign doctrine? Is the UCC real? Well, the UCC is real. However, should Moors use the UCC to claim that they're a secured party creditor based on the birth certificate and to establish nationality? Those are the questions. Within the first couple classes, I realized I had learned something hot, fundamental, but hot, because there's so few Moors who seem to actually know exactly what the UCC is and how to use it. But before I decided to jump online and tell people what I've learned and blah, 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 that, I decided to finish the class. Make sure what I thought I was on to is really something, and play out, let it develop, and then talk about it. That's that same picture from when I first came here before I got in law school. Me in law school. In law class. We're on the campus here, Cleveland State Law School. I'm pretty proud of myself right now because I'm in law school. Oh man. How about that? Lonnie Bray-L is in law school. I am in law class, alone, here early. There's only a couple weeks left till the semester's over, and it's kicked my ass. The training for this, the studying for this, has been like nothing else that I've ever done. It's intense, it's real, it's useful, and everybody in this class is a smart person. I don't have anybody, I'm not sitting around any slackers, no 2.0 GPAers. Everybody in here is basically an honor student or just a little shy of it. And I'm better for this. I'm a lot better for this experience, and I'm eager for my next classes. And thank you, Professor Luisetto. Thank you very much.
Law school, finals week, kicking my ass.
So, I completed one semester of law school. Yay me. I was scared to death. I was so scared I sweated and I stank like something was going to die or something was going to kill me. And it was like that for the first couple weeks for me, and even into the third week. But I started getting a handle on it on the third week when some other students shared with me that they were going through the same thing. Some younger, some older. We were all kind of like in a daze until we started sharing with each other. 3 times somebody said to me, "Hey man, we're in law school." And I was like, "Yeah." And I felt the same way. It was difficult, but man, am I glad I did it. I'm really happy. I don't have my grade yet. I think I did well. I think I got an A.
Sure you did.
So what does it all mean now that my life and my focus is really different after going through a semester of law school? It's changed my life because it's caused me to reevaluate the Moorish American focus and more focus on the UCC 1 as a way to solve problems in life, specifically to avoid laws, to use the birth certificate as collateral in a UCC 1 claim to become a secured party creditor. I'm going to share with you coming up that in a lecture that I've presented already at Cleveland State. I know it looks like I'm wearing the same thing. It's because I am. At the beginning, and throughout there was a spot where I wore a jacket and a shirt a couple times. But things have become very basic for me in life, and I just want to put things in their place. And Lonnie's show is not the place for Moorish American presentations directly. You get Moorish culture from Lonnie because Lonnie's a Moor, and I was raised as a Moor, specifically in martial arts. But there needs to be a separation for several reasons from Lonnie as Lonnie versus Lonnie as the headmaster of the Moorish American Institute, because Lonnie is more than Lonnie, the headmaster of the Moorish American Institute. Lonnie is also Lonnie, a United States chess expert who has chess friends and hangs around chess people and teaches people how to play chess just because they want to learn how to play chess. I'm Lonnie, the Kung Fu master who hangs around people who want to learn Kung Fu regardless of nationality, religion. They're just people who, for the brotherhood of love of martial arts, want to make themselves better. And we use each other as ways to make that happen, not ways to hurt each other. And that doesn't have anything to do with religion or nationality. It's just a very individual, physical and spiritual thing about wellness and growth. And that's where I want to focus at. And I can't do that as Lonnie, the headmaster of the Moorish American Institute, presenting all the time on Lonnie's show because, well, for several things. First thing, the Moorish American Institute is meant to be something simple. In its tradition, it's a 10-week course where you're supposed to learn 12 lessons. And that's it. It's a level of information. You graduate it, you move on to something else. With what I've done with the Moorish American Institute, specifically, I take all the credit or heat for it with the Moorish American Institute, is I've made it more than what it is. I've given my all to it, and because of that, some people feel like in order to graduate the Moorish American Institute, you have to become a chess expert, a sword master, kung fu master, a filmmaker. No, those are the things that I offer to people beyond the Moorish American Institute, whether your path to me is through the Moorish American Institute or not, and directly just through chess or martial arts or sword fighting or something else, filmmaking, writing, whatever. I want to teach what I can to anybody who wants to learn, because that's a Moorish tradition, sharing. And so is education, both teaching when it's your time to teach because you have enough knowledge and it's your responsibility to give back, and as a student when it's your time to learn. So as a learner, that's why I'm always eager to go back to school. And even though I was, deathly afraid of the challenge and wondering if I was struggling with wondering if I was going to be able to intake the information and make it through the class. It's a challenge that I always take up. I went through a PhD, I went 3 years into a PhD program for psychology, and during that, I didn't, every semester, every class of every semester, I didn't feel like I knew anything that was going on. I really didn't know anything that was going on, not just the terms, but the whole concepts of what was being asked of me and what was being described to me that I was going to have to produce by the end of semester for each class in order to pass. But towards the middle, somewhere I started getting a clue and was able to produce by the time it was time to produce. And it's difficult. And I'm saying this to you to say that it's not education is not something that you can avoid when you're putting your life legally in the hands of somebody else's process or belief system, and you're signing all of this paperwork and your life away to stuff. Yeah. So I'm going to present to you what I learned from UCC in common law, and I do it. It's a long class. It's 50 minutes, but I was fortunate enough to get to present at Cleveland State University in the main classroom. It's one of the larger classrooms. It's one of the largest classrooms. I think there's 3 others of those that are of equal size. So that was awesome. And I'm sharing with you. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I don't have anything to sell you dealing with the UCC. But what I do have for you is a message about how you should approach these UCC 1 filing with caution and know exactly what it is and what it is not. And that's what's coming up right almost now. I got to say some things about Lonnie's show, I think. That's enough. We're going to cut this. This is going to go to the Moorish American Institute's channels and to Lonnie's show channels. And after this presentation at Cleveland State University, Lonnie's show is going to be about wellness through martial arts, screenwriting, and movie making. And the Moorish American Institute is going to be for all things Moor. Of course, Lonnie Show, again, I think I already said, still has some Moorish content because, of course, about everything I do comes from Moors. Mm-hmm. They said even the first camera was invented in Egypt. And when you're talking about Moors, you're talking about Africans, you're talking about Egyptians. Yeah, the Egyptians had the ability to take a picture. Do you know that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Mm-hmm. So, filmmaking, martial arts, writing. And we're going to use writing, and we're going to use filmmaking, and we're going to use martial arts as a way to strengthen your body, your mind, and your social lives, giving energy to each of them equally so that you grow in wellness. I think I've said everything I need to say to you. I know some people are going to be pissed at me because Lonnie's show is becoming something other than a Moorish platform for presentations, for Moorish presentations. But, go follow the Moorish American Institute channel if that's the Moorish American content, and more content is exactly and exclusively what you're looking for. If you're looking for how Lonnie went about, how I learned what I learned, how I eat what I eat to be healthy, you want to learn how techniques on martial arts, you want to learn how it relates to strengthening your mind, how reading a poem, get to the point where you're writing a poem, creating a screenplay, learning how to create a screenplay, learning to actually see your movie and actually seeing your screenplay become a movie. That's what I want to get to. Did I say that well enough?
I think so. Makes sense to me.
I can't help everybody that I can help through a Moorish American approach. I don't need Moorish American to be up in front of me. I know my hands are torn up. I've been doing some stuff. I don't need anything to be out in front of me before it's just my face. I'm Lonnie. I'm not Lonnie. I'm not anything else first. I'm Lonnie the martial artist. I'm Lonnie the Kung Fu master. I'm Lonnie the chess expert. But I'm not the chess expert Lonnie. I'm not just the Moorish American Lonnie. Moorish American is not something that's the only thing I have to talk about. For those who are looking for a level of education where they can intellectually describe themselves internationally as a national, Moorish American becomes appealing, and you need to know the culture and the shield of that. But if you're looking just to learn chess, you're looking just to learn Kung Fu, then you can do that with me. And I have a lot to teach about that. And again, my whole thing, my core thing is the brotherhood of martial arts. The brotherhood of martial artists. So I think I said a couple things in redundant. I'm gonna make a couple cuts here. I want to make sure I cover everything, because this is it. From here, Lonnie's show is Lonnie's show. Moorish American Institute to Moorish American Institute. Lonnie's show in the tradition of having fun, like my father, the owner of the original Lonnie show. He was a band leader and a lead singer. He was also a manager of all of his bands. And he traveled in a circuit, in a 7-state circuit. He did a thing around Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, came back around Colorado. I don't know the exact course, but I've been to all of those places with him. And
I've been everywhere.
yeah, I've been everywhere, man. So Lonnie Show is about having fun. The original Lonnie Show, he just wanted to entertain people. My thing is I want to entertain people with wellness. I want the things that I talk about and you're laughing at, and my energy to be toward helping you make your life better, not just something to entertain you. So that lecture at Cleveland State, it's a challenge to me, by the way, to put this together to you, because put it together for you right now, and to post it for you on this day, because it's a festive day for so many people. I think it's a festive day for pretty much everybody if you're in America. If you're not doing something on Christmas Day, then somebody hasn't called you, and people don't like you or something, or you've isolated yourself away from, you're so smart, you're so religious, you believe one thing's in such a way, everybody goes, don't call that man to say anything to him, because he'll get pissed or something. But I don't recommend being foolish and spending all your money on gifts. But as far as you're Moorish American, you're Muslim, Hindu, whatever, go around your family and friends who are celebrating Christmas, whether they're Christians or not, and have a good time today. But I want you to know I worked hard these last 4 months. And this is the last thing I want to say. This is what I want to keep talking, so I make sure I get it all out. There's a separation, not just of Moorish Americans from other people, but Moorish Americans within Moorish Americans, so that the separations happen for some just by looking at me, for example, and saying, I'm not going to learn from him because he's light-skinned. So then you got these people who, they don't want to be involved with Moors who are not, of a certain hue in skin. And then there's the Moors who will separate from those Moors because they want to be called MUU Moors versus MOOR Moors. Then there's Moor Americans, there's Moorish Americans. My job isn't to try to make everybody believe one thing, because I don't even believe my own stuff that I was taught. When you get into the realm of belief and you're talking about spaceships waiting, and yeah, sure, there's extraterrestrials. There's probably, sure, I won't argue against there being extraterrestrials, but as far as waiting on them to do something for you, I don't think they give a shit. They're not doing nothing for you yet. Oh, look, I saw a ship. Yes, I saw probably ships too. They didn't do anything. If extraterrestrials are real, the working hypothesis is they don't give a shit. So you go about your life, you get you an education, and that's what you do. You don't wait on the mothership like some Moors have told me they're doing. They're just gonna, collect a check. They're gonna work a menial job or something for somebody to call an enemy at the same time in some situations. Get yourself an education and stop looking at everybody or anybody like they're an enemy based on what they look like. I don't care if they're blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't talk about everywhere I've been, but I want to tell you something. You might find yourself, if you're lucky, walking down a little road one day coming from your hotel, and you're hungry. And they say, there's some shops down that way, Mike. You're not in England. All right. So And you go down the way and you find the first place you see is this place. It's got these this patio. It's pretty, and it's hand tiles and the umbrellas over the tables, and just a few, 3, 4, 5. Nobody's there. It's early, so you sit down, you wait. You wait and you wait, and you get kind of pissed because, in America, somebody's supposed to come out and by now greet you. United States, somebody's supposed to come out, they greet you. At least they say hi, if it's real busy. I'll be with you in a minute. I'll take your drink order. I'll take your appetizer order. You acknowledge somebody within the first few minutes they're there. But nobody comes to you for a few minutes longer than you're used to. And when a person does approach your table, "Good day, mate. How are you?" And you're like, "Good day. Do you have a menu?" "A menu? No, mate. I got no menu. Are you hungry, mate?" "Yeah, I'm hungry." "Well, what would you like to eat, mate?" And so you start telling stuff, and you're like, "Well, I don't have that, mate, but I got this and I got that." So you order some stuff, and you wait, and a man, and you see his wife, and gosh, she's waving, and she cooked in there for you, and the man comes out with these plates and sits down and serves you, and you're eating, he goes away and comes back, chit chat, little chit chat, and you're sitting with somebody you came with, and you're obviously into that person. You're just chilling with that person, and eventually, you ate all the food. And you're waiting, and nobody brings you the check. You wait, and you're pissed. You want to go. In Mexico, I know this as they just, and Japan too, they just leave you because they're not gonna try to get you to leave. They're not trying to bully you out of the table. They don't want to. It's not their goal to turn over the table to make more money. They're not working so much for tips. They're making money anyway. But in Australia, so this man comes out, and you're like, "Can I have the check?" And he's like, "Check, Mike?" And you're like, yeah, the check's like, "There's no checks, Mike." He's like, "Well, how do I pay you?" "Pay me, Mike? You don't owe me anything, Mike." "Well, how do you make money on the restaurant here?" "This isn't a restaurant, Mike. This is me home." Yeah, so somebody feeds you. You got pissed at them. You fucked around and walked into somebody's house. And instead of telling you, "Hey, Mike, you walked into me fucking house," they feed you instead. Now, he's blonde hair, blue eyes, and I look like this. It was an Australian who convinced me that I should continue to push as hard as I can in the swimming pool, even though I have asthma, because half of the Australian swim team that term had asthma. I would never know that if I would call that man a devil. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to make myself better or to help somebody else who is so peaceful, to help somebody else out by presenting anything about myself that seems really weird to other people. If you present anything to somebody else that deals with religion and it's not that same person's religion, it seems weird. Because there's so many different definitions of what a Moorish American is by what they believe. People who hear that and have an opinion of that, have already formed an opinion of that, it can make them standoffish. The same as if you're saying, "I'm Baptist." Well, I might be a Baptist too, but I'm a Morning Star Baptist, and you might be an Evening Star Baptist or Southern Star Baptist. So first I got to learn that before I can be friends with you and hear what you say. No, that's not the life I want to live. I've lived that life already. Yeah. So here comes that lecture tomorrow, because this thing got long. And I wanted to be honest with you and just give you a complete take. Yeah. Peace. Enjoy the lecture. Coming next, Law class, lecture, UCC presentation by Lonnie Braille, me, to answer the following 2 questions concerning the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, in relation to these 2 questions. Question 1, is the UCC a tool to claim secured party creditor using the birth certificate as collateral? Question 2, is the UCC a tool to establish nationality? See you tomorrow. Peace.